Good morning, everyone. This is Generic Fool's Test. Um, I am starting a bit earlier because honestly, I couldn't really, for some reason, I woke up at like 11 p.m. and then I tried going back to sleep, and then I woke up again, basically at like not much long after, and then I couldn't sleep. I was going to stream even earlier, but unfortunately, I got distracted, which that's a common thing on my streams where I'll get distracted. Hi, person. How are you doing? Or rather, good morning. I have no idea why I woke up so stupidly early. I couldn't really go back to sleep, but yeah. I'm going to talk about American foods today because I don't feel like I have the energy to play a game in the morning. If I'm going to be a sandbag in the afternoon, I need to make sure I actually have the energy to do that. Because I don't want it to be like yesterday, where I was like dead tired, and I was like, man, man, um, um, um. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah. So I'm doing reaction content. Wow. The peak of, well, not fully reaction because I've seen these videos, but I'm going to talk about them and show my non American fans or followers this stuff. Now, keep in mind, these are common react videos that people do. The most iconic food in every state, where it's mostly the most touristy stuff. Where, if you actually look a bit into the states, some of them are a lot more interesting than you'd think. Sort of like, how the actual national dish of the UK is chicken tikka masala. And that's because, there's a lot of different cultures in the UK. And people just go like, what is it that, the whitest of white bread British people eat? It's like, the fish and chips, I mean, the sausage roll. It's like, no, you can't pick Greg's as your cultural ambassador. Having said that, I have never been to Greg's. But things are like, it's always, things can seem bland or boring at the surface level, but when you look in a bit deeper, it's a lot more interesting. A lot of states have different immigrants from different countries, and it's the food culture is oftentimes a lot more diverse. It's just that a lot of the people that they ask are in the touristy areas, and like, or just people who are not like into trying new things. Like, there are some parts which of the country which have more. I forgot which cultures there are, but where it is, but there are several. Fuck, I forgot. It's because I'm tired. My brain's not working right now. There are, I think it's in I can't remember if it's in California or Texas, but basically in some states they have some of the largest populations of certain groups outside of their country, or people from a certain country. That's useless if I don't tell you where it is and what state. So basically, I'm being vague as vague as vague. I remember a neat fact, but I forgot the two things that people can use to figure out or find out more about it, but whatever. I'm rambling. There's.
From Maine lobster rolls to New York pizza, here is each state's favorite food. Alabama's pick is smoked chicken with white sauce. Chicken is smoked for hours and then dunked in a tangy white sauce.
To be fair, like for some of these videos, like yesterday, person we watched we had 3 people and they left. 2 of them left. Oh man, that's not a good sign. But yeah, um, the problem with these is they'll just go, "Hey, the most iconic." This video came out before the sandwich one, so I'm sort of watching it in reverse order. But it's like, "Hey, this is the most iconic food in the state," and then in the next one for the sandwich one, they were like, "Hey, some of these places I don't have it, so let's just say they put the thing between the bread." Like they had the Alabama, or wait, was it Alabama? Or no, yeah, Alabama like barbecue chicken on a sandwich, which I mean, sure they do too, but it's a bit boring to watch again. It's like Alabama like barbecue chicken, and like for the sandwich though, for Maryland, for the most popular sandwich there, I wouldn't say it would be probably the soft shell crab. I mean, soft shell crab is amazing, but it would probably be, I'd say, pit beef or a crab cake sandwich. But I don't like crab cakes, so that's heresy for those who are from Maryland. But yeah, I don't. No.
Alaska commercially harvests more than 100 million salmon a year. It can be cooked a number of ways: grilled, smoked, cured, you name it. The Sonoran dog is originally from Mexico, but is extremely popular in Arizona. The bacon-wrapped hot dog is topped with beans, onions, tomato, and a drizzle of mustard and jalapeno salsa.
So how does that hot dog sound to you, person? Well, yeah, sometimes you have to share stuff. Well, I mean, I tend to eat a bit too much, which is why I'm trying to cut back.
Arkansas takes its cheese dip very seriously. There's even a World Cheese Dip Championship in Little Rock every year. 90% of the avocados produced in the US come from California. And it's not just guacamole and avocado toast that's being made. There are avocado burgers, fries, chocolate, and even beer.
Yeah, it's just like, wait, did you say chocolate? Oh my god, that sounds. Wait, beer? Oh my god. I don't know. Sometimes things that sound like they don't work actually taste good. And then sometimes things that you think would taste good taste awful. I tried this watermelon ale, and I bought it from a liquor store, and it was like watermelon ale with a hint of lime. And I was like, oh, that sounds so nice and refreshing. And I took a sip, and basically I was nearly beaten to death with lime. It was so sour, and so it could, like, at the very end of it, because I knew that it's supposed to have watermelon, I was like, oh, I guess I can taste a little bit of watermelon in this, but watermelon doesn't have a lot of flavor. Why? So like, it was also just disgusting. Beer or ale with a little bit of lime or citrus in it can be nice when there's a hint of it. Just give it a little bit of like flavor. It's kind of like for if you're eating a sandwich and you put a little bit of mayonnaise on it, it can be nice. But filling the sandwich with mayonnaise and then dunking the sandwich into mayonnaise is a step too far. But, yeah.
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Ah, yes, the Rocky Mountain oysters
are a Colorado specialty. And they're not oysters. They're deep-fried bull testicles. Some say they taste like gamey
Yes,
calamari.
thank you for showing the literal unprocessed the bull testicle. That was appreciated. Did not expect to be. I apologize for showing balls to people first thing in the morning. But yes, but once you fry it up, I haven't had it, but imagine it's not bad. It's mostly the idea of it. Some things sound weird, but when you actually eat them or try them, it's just like not that crazy. There are some things that absolutely I would not recommend people try right away. But yeah.
New Haven style pizza, also known as a pizza, is characterized by its coal fired thin crust. It originated at the Frank Pepe Pizzeria, which is also known for its white clam pizza. Chicken and slippery dumplings is a Delaware comfort food. These slippery dumplings are rolled out paper thin and cut into large rectangles. The Cuban sandwich is made with ham, roast pork, Swiss cheese, pickles, and mustard. It was created by Cuban immigrants in Florida. The peach cobbler is one of the most popular desserts in Georgia, especially since the peach is the official state fruit. Poke is native to Hawaii. It consists of diced raw fish such as salmon or tuna tossed in sauce.
It's kind of like ceviche.
Idaho grows the most potatoes in the U.S. These potatoes are made into French fries, chips, and other carb delights. While there is a debate on which restaurant has the best, it's irrefutable that Chicago deep dish pizza is a must-have. The gooey treat is baked in a pan and full of cheesy goodness.
Have you tried deep dish, or do you have any interest in it? I mean, look at that slice there. Oh, you've had deep dish? Because I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's when you see a deep dish pizza, you don't mix it up with a regular pizza because it's like quite noticeably different.
Indiana loves its pork tenderloin sandwiches, especially when they're fried to crispy perfection. These sandwiches are known for being bigger than your face. The made right sandwich is a...
And since we were talking about weird things, have you ever eaten a Dutch baby person? I recommend it. They're quite tasty. Okay, it's time to clarify now. Before people take that out of context. Dutch baby recipe. Alright, so here it is. It's a big old pancake that's like a souffle. Generic fool's test revealed to be baby cannibal. The meat is so tender. Yeah, sorry. But, yeah, no. It's a pancake which is sort of like custardy in the center, like slightly crispy on the outside, and ultra tender, as I said, like custard in the middle. You don't normally put syrup on it, I don't think, and it's usually can be served with fruits, and it has powdered sugar on it. Like, as I said, it's like a souffle. So when it's cooking, it's like, it looks level, but as soon as it's done, it's sort of flat, sinks in like this. And it's usually not too sweet, but it's like really nice. I recommend you try it sometime. Is it an actual Dutch thing? I have no idea. The problem is that in America, calling something Dutch could mean that it was created in an actual Dutch settlement. It could be German because it's a mispronunciation of Deutsch, Or it could be a willing change due to, you know, certain things occurring in the Second World War. Okay, well, as I said, it's not that sweet, but I guess you could make a savory version of it. It's just, I think it's really nice with just a little bit of butter and powdered sugar. But it could also just be they put that name in there, they give it the name Dutch to, just make it sound fancier. Because white people aren't too creative. Like basic white people aren't too creative. Coming from a white person who's currently saying like, "Hey, let's produce content. What can I do that will show my individuality? Hey, let's watch a video that there are tons and tons of reactions of. Totally, this will make me seem unique." Oh yes, well, as I said, Dutch babies are known for their tenderness and nice texture. Am I talking about babies or am I talking about a pancake? I won't say.
Loose meat beef sandwich. It's kind of like a sloppy Joe without the sauce. It can get a little bit messy, but it is totally worth it.
God, my mom looks weird.
Kansans love their
but in the
barbecue
opposite direction,
ribs.
weirdly enough.
Baby backs are coated with special rub and smothered with finger-licking barbecue sauce. The hot brown is an open-faced sandwich consisting of turkey, tomato, Mornay sauce, and bacon. It's put under a broiler until crispy and brown, and was invented in the Brown Hotel in Louisville, Kentucky.
Now, I'm sort of unsure about the hot brown because anytime they talk about that state, they always seem to mention the hot brown, if it's even slightly applicable. But things like the Cubano or the Philly cheesesteak are iconic foods from their states, and you can basically get them almost anywhere. But most people who don't look into food don't know what a hot brown is, so I'm sort of wondering, are they just being lazy and going, "Oh yeah, hot brown," or is it really such a big phenomenon? Oh well.
Gumbo is a Louisiana treasure, and also the state's official cuisine. The dish has its roots in many different cultures, including African, French, and Choctaw. Often served from a big pot, it's filled with chicken and sausage or a seafood medley. Lobster.
I feel like yesterday I was going now today I'm going yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Rolls rule in Maine, especially since 90% of U.S.
rolls
lobsters are
yesterday.
caught off the Maine coast. A lobster roll is piled high with large chunks of lobster with little to no fillers. Marylanders are obsessed with crab,
Not
and one of the
this
best ways to eat it
Marylander.
is crab cake. Just don't forget to add some Old Bay. No food is more iconic in Massachusetts
Bay
than
is actually
clam
pretty good,
chowder.
though.
This creamy soup is filled with vegetables, cream, stock,
It's
and
like people who say every British person likes mushy peas. I know at least 2 people who are followers of me who do not like them. Yeah.
clams. Get it in a bread bowl to make it extra special. Mackinac Island fudge is a must-have in Michigan. There are over 13 fudge shops, collectively making
And
more
2
than
of them are in the stream
10,000
right
pounds
now.
of fudge daily during the peak travel season, making Mackinac Island America's fudge capital.
Packing food.
Nothing screams Minnesota more than tater tot hot dish. Vegetables, ground beef, and cream of mushroom soup are topped with tater tots and roasted to golden perfection.
You hear about this dish here? I mean, I don't know if most people use green beans inside of it, but usually it's like ground meat, maybe some corn and some other vegetables with cheese, and then these tater tots, which are basically shredded potatoes formed into these little cylinders, put on top of, all the other stuff. It's like an American version of shepherd's pie or cottage pie, technically. It's confusing because there is a difference. Cottage pie is made with beef. Shepherd's pie is made with lamb or mutton. But in America, we just call any meat, ground meat mixture with potato on top, or mashed potato on top, shepherd's pie. I mean, I don't care enough to literally go up to people and, this is wrong! It's just how things are. Most people don't like to want things to be simple, so they would rather just blanket label everything as something because it's easier for them to identify. The people want the world to be simple. The world is unfortunately not simple. Because everyone wants to, have that sort of like moment like, oh look, the reason for all of our problems is this one glaringly big, obvious to fix thing that's easy to do. When normally when there's a problem, it's like thousands of little tiny problems that are interlinked, and there are different things that have to like break down or resolve. But yeah.
You can find the best fried catfish in Mississippi. Not surprising, since the state is the world's leading producer of pond-raised catfish. Toasted ravioli is St. Louis's fun take on the pasta dish. Each ravioli is breaded, fried, and served with marinara sauce. Huckleberries are grown in the northwestern United States, especially in the mountainous parts of Montana, and they can be made into anything.
Huckleberry jam, huckleberry pretzels, huckleberry man, berry cherry pretzels, huckleberry sauce, huckleberry...
You get it.
Yeah.
Chili with a cinnamon roll is...
This one requires clarification. It's not, a cinnamon roll put into chili, even though for some reason somebody has a picture of that in one of these things. It's like a bowl or plate of chili with a cinnamon roll on the side. Not gonna lie, there is probably someone though who's tried doing that. Yeah.
It's a match made in heaven. This pairing has...
Like as I said, this picture is weird. But all the others are not like this. All the other ones have them separate.
Been served as a school lunch in the
You see like that.
Midwest since the 1960s. Pre-coronavirus, buffet culture was big in Las Vegas.
I would too. But I mean, look at this buffet. This is a Las Vegas casino buffet.
Prices range from $5 for a breakfast buffet to $65 at the Bacchanal buffet at Caesar's Palace, which included unlimited prime rib and crab legs.
I mean, hey, at this buffet you can get like cuts of steak and all this other stuff, and they cut it pretty freshly. I mean, it's a great deal.
Apple cider
And you can ruin your life through gambling. What's there to lose?
donuts are a New England favorite. New Hampshire is home to many apple orchards, including the oldest continuously operated one in America, Applecrest Farms. Saltwater taffy dates back to the 1880s in Atlantic City, New Jersey. A mixture of corn syrup, sugar, and butter is stretched until it becomes aerated, then individually wrapped. The New Mexico chili is a staple ingredient in New Mexico cuisine. It starts out as a green pepper and ripens into a red one. It's often roasted or made into a puree. New York pizza is legendary. Some say it's the New York City tap water that gives the dough its characteristic.
I mean, in New York, they say everything that tastes good there is because of the tap water. The bagels, the pizza, the bread, just if it's good in New York, it's basically tap water.
Foldable yet crispy crust. There are two barbecue.
Oh, people drink tap water in America because we... Nope, not here. Okay, correction. Some parts of the country, it is probably worse than in other areas. Like the really poor countries, like in some parts of the country, you can have gas or gas contamination, and you can find videos online of people turning on the faucet, lighting a match near their faucet, and then literal flames coming outside of their sink. And that's because there is chemical runoff. However, those are in really poor parts of the country where the government does not care, and big corporations basically just bribe the government to look the other way. And but as long as you live in a part of the country where it's not in like a poor area, or like even like an average place, like the tap water is fine to drink. Like it, some people still do filter water, but like for the most part, American tap water is fine to drink, you know, straight from the tap. But as I said, there are some parts of the country where you do not want to do that.
Barbecue styles in North Carolina, Eastern and Lexington. Eastern lays claim to whole hog barbecuing, while Lexington style mostly uses pork shoulder meat with a ketchup-based sauce. Nefla soup is...
But yeah, it's kind of... My example of it would be, because, I just mentioned like the sort of horror story part of it, that you're like, I will never drink tap water while I'm in America. Well, it's fine. It's kind of like, it's the people who say here that there are some cases where wearing a seatbelt can cause a worse injury when you get into an accident in a car. And then people are like, I'm not going to wear a seatbelt because of that. While, as a whole, not wearing a seatbelt while driving is far more dangerous. And it's like 90% of the time, 99% of the time, wearing a seatbelt is going to save your life, while not wearing it is going to potentially kill you or seriously injure you in a relatively mundane thing. So as I said, most of the country has clean tap water that you can drink. There's just a few areas where you need to be careful.
Is rich and creamy, filled with potato and small dough balls. This dish comes from the German Russians who settled in North Dakota. The Buckeye is a peanut butter ball dipped in chocolate.
You're going to see this.
It resembles the nut of the Buckeye tree, often found in Ohio. Chicken fried steak is the epitome of Southern comfort.
It's called a Buckeye because it looks like the eye of a deer.
Food. A large piece of beef steak is breaded and
that's what the Buckeye nut is called. The Buckeye candy or treat is called that because of the tree. The nut does. Yeah, it's sort of confusing. The nut is called, the actual nut is named after, as I said, like a deer's eye, while the treat is named after I already said it.
And fried, and you can't forget the gravy. The Marionberry pie is an Oregon favorite. The Marionberry was actually created at Oregon State University as part of a berry developing partnership with the U.S. Department of Agriculture in the early 1900s. The Philly cheesesteak is world famous. A hoagie roll is loaded with an absurd amount of beefsteak. Then provolone or cheese whiz is added on top. Stuffed clams.
And then, some people say that the Philly cheesesteak is only for tourists in Philadelphia, and it's the roast pork sandwich. I'm going to bring that up every time I say that, so I'm sorry, person, you've probably heard that like 50 times, but still. And then this is stuffed clams.
Also known as stuffies, are a local favorite in Rhode Island. Giant quahog clams are stuffed with clam, herbs, and breading. You've got
to be careful when handling the shells, especially if it's freshly made, because the shell gets like volcanically hot. But yeah.
to try a low country boil in South Carolina. It consists of shrimp, sausages, potatoes, corn, and some Old Bay.
There's also, in Maryland, they could have picked a crab boil, which is the herbs. Herb. What you got against herbs?
Chislic is pieces of cubed red meat, typically lamb, venison, or beef. It's usually grilled or deep fried. German and Russian immigrants are credited with bringing the dish to South Dakota in the 1870s. Memphis-style ribs can be prepared dry or wet. Dry ribs are covered with a dry rub, while wet ribs are brushed with sauce throughout the cooking process.
Upside down smiley.
Texas goes big for barbecue. It's especially known for its juicy, fall-off-the-bone ribs and tender briskets that have been smoked all day. Jell-O is so popular in Utah that it's the official state snack. Utah culture is closely tied to Mormon culture, which also loves Jell-O.
Stop fighting in chat.
Vermont is the leading producer of maple syrup in the U.S. Tree sap is boiled into sugar and then filtered into syrup before making its way onto your pancakes. Smithfield ham is a hometown favorite for Virginia. It's a specific form of ham cured in Smithfield, Virginia. Coffee culture is big in Washington. Home to
This is supposed to be a food video. Why is it covering coffee? That's a drink. No. How dare you murder her, threaten to murder her cat in Minecraft. I've never actually played Minecraft. I should probably play it at some point.
coffee giant Starbucks, the state also has many independently owned coffee shops to fuel your caffeine cravings. West Virginians love their pepperoni rolls. They were invented as an easy lunch meal for coal miners in the 1920s. Wisconsin is considered the cheese state, and one of the best ways to eat cheese is cheese curds. Whether they're eaten fresh or deep fried, they make an awesome snack. Bison steaks are popular in Wyoming. They're described as having a lighter, slightly sweeter flavor than beef.
Bah. So some of the, this is kind of dull. I'm also sort of shocked at how low energy I am. I've only worked, today is, what is today? I've lost track of time. Yeah, it's only Sunday, so I've only worked, I've only worked 3 days after coming back from vacation, and I already feel tired and lethargic. This does not bode well. Actually, I'm going to check and see. Rather than watching the whole video where it once again says the same exact thing again. Or wait, I thought this was... Okay. This might cover different things. So
Pizza. Alabama.
Same thing as before.
Alaska.
Crab meat! Crab meat!
In the land of
King
snow and
crab.
ice, Alaskans have a love affair with king crab. Tracy's
Have you ever had king crab? Either of you? It's actually really good. Expensive, but very good. It's got these really long legs, which are full of meat. So, in terms of crab, it's sort of the best one where you get the most meat out of it for, you know. Well, first of all, as I said, it's really expensive. But getting the meat isn't all that hard. Well, no, their claws aren't actually all that big. Like as I said, look at the legs in comparison to the claws. The claws are still tasty, but oh, no problem. I don't know why you're apologizing. There's no need for that. But it's really good and really tasty. But it's just expensive.
King Crab Shack in Juneau serves up the Bering Sea's finest. From crab cakes to colossal claws, it's a crab lover's paradise. So don't miss the
Oh no, they made crab cakes with the superior crab.
best legs in town. Crab's legs, that is.
I'm really in the mood for crab legs.
Arizona.
Time to make the chimichangas.
In the heart of Arizona, a culinary accident became a legend. At El Charro Cafe, the chimichanga was born when a burrito took a deep fryer plunge. Today, Tuscan and Oro Valley sizzle with options from mini delights to colossal USA Today-sized chimis bursting with chicken, beef, shrimp, beans, or carnitas.
Good God.
Yeah. So, have you heard of the chimichanga? It's only Deadpool's favorite food. In comics. Deep fried burrito.
Con carne.
Arkansas.
Can I eat the pickle?
Well, there's a lot of salt in it, but yeah, it's fine.
In 1963, Dutchess Drive-In owner Fat Man Austin invented the fried pickle, selling a basket for 15 cents. Today, they're served all over Arkansas, typically paired with ranch.
I realize the idea fried pickles probably doesn't sound great to you. From what I've heard, a lot of British people don't seem to like pickles or gherkins, rather. Though from what I've heard, like, a lot of American pickles are apparently tastier than the average British gherkin. So, you know, it's depends. And even then, it always also depends on what type of pickle they're frying, how they're frying it, and how thick it is. And also whether you like pickles.
Or ketchup, depending on your pickle passion.
No ketchup! No ketchup!
California.
Stern?
It's avocado. What is Colorado?
Supreme, renowned for the world's
Yes.
Colorado.
Give me some of the lamb's head.
In the Centennial State, lamb reigns supreme. Renowned
I've
for
never
the
heard about
world's
that.
finest, it's often accompanied by a warm
Little
cheese
baby
fondue,
sheep.
tantalizingly creamy with pepper jack and adorned with a
Oh my. Well, can't say anything about that because that could be harassment. And the fact that if we compare our ages and I were to say something like that, insert pickle joke. It's just like, there you sir, there's the pervert. No! It's like, they're like, geez, man, people usually say stuff like that in private DMs, and you're literally caught in 4K saying it. No, no. We called the officers. You're going away for a long time, you sick freak. He said he chose pickle to her.
symphony of fresh chilies, a true Colorado delight.
I like to eat lamb chops.
It's like, but I love pickles. I love the feeling of them in my mouth. Why did I say that? Yeah.
Connecticut.
Clam and scallop.
In Connecticut, they marry seafood and pizza with white clam pizza, a delicious.
I have tried white clam pizza. I'm not a fan. Sometimes clams can be really nice, and then sometimes clams can be not so great. Frank Pepe's also makes a white shrimp pizza, and that one's a lot better. Every once in well, you know what they say about broken clock? It's right twice a day, and so I can occasionally be funny, even when I'm dead tired.
Delectable fusion.
Oh yeah, well, as I said, like, white clam pizza's not great. Delaware, is this slippery
Find
dumplings?
comfort in chicken and slippery dumplings.
Yep, it's slippery dumplings. Oh, Florida looks different.
Florida's most famous export besides oranges may be key lime pie.
I never knew. Oh yeah, Florida does sell oranges. I forgot about that. Oh man.
Named after the small, tart, aromatic limes commonly associated with the
Try the
Florida
banana
Keys,
pie.
the meringue-topped pie combines the tangy lime juice with sweetened condensed milk and egg yolk, all poured into a graham cracker crust. Variations appear on virtually every menu.
It's a nice dessert, though some people try deep frying it, which that's a crazy. But yeah. Oh, you haven't heard of deep fried key lime pie? On a stick? You see, the stick is there to keep stability. There's deep fried everything. There's deep fried Coke. And because I know you think I'm joking. Oh, and Moon, have you? I forgot to ask Moon if she likes eating Dutch babies. Do you like eating it? It's a fair food. Deep. Deep fried Coke. Wait, that looks like. Those look like fried shrimps. What the hell? Me? Oh, no, not deep fried long pig. But yeah. I don't know why I remember the term long pig. I got her on record. Well, I mean, technically, I don't have you on record because, you know, no one can see my chat except for on Twitch. It'll be the perfect prime. Oh god, it was found deep fried. It was like chicharron. Well, let's see. George. Well, George is probably peach. Or was it?
Georgia.
I'm a
Oh.
yoga nut,
Oh.
and I'm
They went with
nut.
different.
Georgia's official crop is a global hit, essential for PB&J sandwiches and other food staples. But in the heart of peanut country, Georgia's official state crop takes a savory twist in the form of boiled peanuts. Tender and soft-textured, they're simmered with salt and spices, making extra seasoning unnecessary.
It's perfect.
Hawaii.
Oh, you know how they eat them? These boiled peanuts. You bite. Yeah. Oh, come on. We're talking about boiled peanuts. You, since the shell is sort of soft, you have to bite the top of the shell, rip it open, and just squeeze the little nuts out. I'm sorry. Yes, you rip off the top, and then you squeeze the nuts out and eat them. Yes, I just wasn't thinking there. Put the nuts in your mouth. It's salty. Ah. However, there are apparently people who just eat the entire thing, shell and all, which that's yes.
Warmest aloha, sir.
In the Aloha State, shaved ice reigns supreme, an elevated version of the snow cone. Top spots create fluffy, finely shaved ice using razor-sharp blades. Flavors range from lychee to wedding cake, making this tropical treat a must-try Hawaiian delight.
Trust me, bro.
Shaved ice, especially when there's like the cheap shaved ice, which you can get in a lot of different places, and then there's like, you know, the Hawaiian shaved ice, which is closer to Asian or Japanese shaved ice, where they might add things like condensed milk and other stuff. It's really, really nice and pleasant. Oh yeah, it's good. Ice is nice. Jim Spud. What the hell's Jim Spud?
Idaho.
Potatoes a la what? Just potatoes.
Idaho residents swear by the colossal Jim Spud, a mammoth Idaho potato piled high with 6 ounces of teriyaki steak scraps, caramelized onions, butter, sour cream, and a mountain of oozing cheddar cheese. It's a beastly delight, best enjoyed with company for a spud-tacular experience.
Pun intended.
Illinois.
Well, deep dish pizza, I think everybody knows, especially since we just saw a video covering it. What the heck is this?
Indiana.
Would you like some pork?
Indiana shares a love for pork
Tenderloin, we've seen that. Iowa, I guess corn.
Iowa.
His favorite food is corn.
In the heartland, Iowa's obsession with sweet corn is as natural as the
Oh,
crops
yeah.
themselves. Knee-high by the 4th.
I don't understand. A lot of Americans like eating simple foods like the British do. I mean, we usually add more salt, but most people like eating either like potatoes and meat, or meat and potatoes, or, you know, like noodles and some kind of meat and sauce. Really simple. We have our own things that are, you know, like the bland equivalents, as other people would say, but, you know, to a lot of people it's comfort food, and it's not horribly expensive or horribly difficult to make.
4th of July is the local mantra. Come summer, truckloads of this golden delight hit markets and street corners. They even have festivals dedicated to the crop.
Wow, that good, huh?
Kansas.
Finally, the ribs.
In the Sunflower State,
We've already covered the barbecue. It's tasty meat that takes hours to cook.
Kentucky.
These fingers.
We've talked about the hot brown.
Louisiana.
Gumbo.
Everyone likes a gum.
Gumbo, we've talked about that.
Maine.
Lobster, lobster,
Oh
lobster.
yeah, lobster roll. Oh no, just regular
You
lobster.
are delicious.
In Maine, the lobster roll reigns
Oh,
supreme.
okay, well, once again. Did you know McDonald's sells a McLobster in Maine? I haven't tried it. I did go to Maine, but let's see. The McLobster roll. Here it is. I mean, they don't sell it outside of Maine. And that's probably because lobster is relatively affordable in Maine. What do you mean, why is it on a bun? That's how it's traditionally had, on a bun. That's just a lobster roll. But yeah. Wait, right here.
Given that a whopping 90% of U.S. Maryland.
Where's the blue? The blue color.
Maryland's signature dish is all about Chesapeake Bay's blue crab, celebrated for its delectable sweet white meat.
I have never had the Maryland crab boil. No. Even though I grew up there. That's partially because it's, well, you know, it was more of a thing by the, well, yeah, to be fair, it would probably, well, you'd need to be closer to, I guess, the Chesapeake Bay, where, you know, they harvest all the seafood to find the restaurants that specialize in it. And, you know, as you see, that's how they bring it over. Like, they take a bunch of crabs and just dump it on the table. The table has paper and stuff covering it, so you know it's clean. And they replace it between customers, so, yeah. Oh, yes, I'm an embarrassment to the Marylander.
While the blue crab population faced challenges, conservation strides
Indeed,
are rejuvenating this.
I must commit Sudoku.
treasure. The purest way to savor these beauties? Steamed to perfection and dusted with a tantalizing spice blend. A true taste of Maryland's seafood heritage.
Yeah, boy.
Massachusetts.
Are you enjoying the
Clam chowder.
Michigan.
A pie. A pie.
The pasty is a hand pie with Cornish origins, which found a unique home in Michigan when
Oh.
Cornish immigrant copper miners introduced
Yes, this is totally a Michigan-only thing. It does not exist in the UK. Shut up! It doesn't exist in the UK. What do you mean it has a long tradition? No, it doesn't. Nuh-uh.
it.
No, Greg's doesn't exist. America's the world, don't you know? That's why we have so many the world championships in America. Even though we don't invite anyone outside of America. I've never tried Greg's. Maybe the next, well, with my current salary, I don't think I can ever go to the UK again. I only got to go because my father got 2 tickets, and then my mother didn't want to go. It's not that I don't have an interest in traveling. I would love to travel. But, you know, I am on financial aid. I can't exactly afford to take trips to Europe. Even though I'm on the side of America where it's more affordable to go to Europe. Good. That's what I intended. Personally. But yeah, I don't know. The cost of one, even in like economy plus, it's really uncomfortable for me to ride on a plane because I've got long legs and long arms. You don't need to give them a virtual hug. You can just give them a hug when you see them again. You're not that, well, you know each other, but either way, in person, I mean. Let's go.
Evolving in the Upper Peninsula, it was embraced by the Finnish community as well. Regardless of its heritage, the pasty has earned its place as a quintessential Michigan dish.
It was delicious.
Minnesota.
Too hot. Burn my damn tongue.
You might think of it as a casserole, but Minnesotans proudly call it hot dish. This comforting concoction blends beef or chicken, veggies, and canned cream of mushroom soup crowned with tater tots. From church suppers to family gatherings, this easy-to-make classic graces tables all over the North Star State.
What is that?
It's an iconic thing in the Midwest. What is this? Fried catfish. We've covered that.
Missouri.
Fried?
Toasted ravioli, which is actually fried ravioli.
Montana.
Huckleberries. Yes, we've covered that too.
Nebraska.
What's your
Larunza. We've also covered that.
Nevada.
for dinner?
Dinner?
Lovingly dubbed Stegs, this no-frills late night or early morning plate is a Nevada tradition adored by casino workers, night owls, and tourists alike. 24-hour diners near the Las Vegas Strip serve it up featuring a New York strip steak, 2 eggs, toast, and potatoes.
Every hour, 24 hours a day.
Oh, steak and eggs. That's what it is. Steak. I am...
New Hampshire.
Whip up a quick...
Oh, now we're stealing from Canada. Poutine is a Canadian thing. Literally, as you say, they got a guy holding a Canadian flag.
Poutine, you're taking over Canada.
New Hampshire natives, particularly around Manchester, hold a special place in their hearts for this iconic French-Canadian delight. Authentic poutine features gravy-drenched cheese curds atop crispy fries, but restaurants will often offer their own personal takes, such as smoked meat, green pepper, or even chicken or beef poutine.
I want everything.
New Jersey.
They literally follow up poutine with its knockoff, disco fries. Basically the same thing. The same exact thing, essentially.
Jersey.
French fries and gravy, sir.
Poutine.
New Jersey's response to Canada's poutine seems to be disco fries. The TikTok diner in Clifton claims to have originated them, but other Garden State spots share the dish's fame. Think crispy French fries draped in melted mozzarella and warm gravy. This classic snack, although predating the disco era, earned its name in the 1970s when night owls stumbled in after a night of dancing and libations.
Yeah.
Gravy.
New Mexico.
Give me some chili Fritos.
Frito pie's origin is hazy, but one tale traces it to 1960s New
This is also a good thing. It's really salty, but it's
Mexico.
nice.
A beloved local delight, it features Fritos corn chips topped with beef chili, often adorned with shredded cheese and onions, and was historically served in the Fritos chip bag.
How cool is that?
Loving these state
Well, you can
foods?
put it in
Then
the
go
bowl,
ahead
if
and
you
hit
want.
that like button.
Thank you. Next.
New York.
I'm gonna go get
New York style pizza. Who would have thought?
Continue.
North Carolina.
Dude, shut up.
Why the heck is it sauce?
That is awesome sauce.
In the heart of the barbecue battles, North Carolina's
Oh, okay.
claim to
Fine.
fame is its sauce. In the Lexington region, it's all about a tangy vinegar-based concoction featuring ketchup, salt, pepper, and the occasional
barbecue.
secret spice. North Dakota.
I'm picking the dumplings for my wife.
These dumplings go by various names, but are cherished as cheese buttons by North Dakotans. Plump
so
little
little cheese
dumplings
dumplings.
filled with creamy cottage cheese, and they're often boiled or pan-fried in butter. Toppings include cheese, scallions, sautéed onions, and a drizzle of fresh or sour cream.
onion.
Ohio.
I'm never eating chili again.
Ooh, chili.
Ohio's signature chili is a unique delight. It's a thin, gently
Skyline
spiced meat
chili.
sauce that generously blankets coney dogs or heaps of spaghetti. It's typically topped with shredded cheddar.
Yep, that's right. Skyline chili is often eaten on spaghetti with cheese. Which, in terms of things, it's not that weird because, think of it this way. It's basically spiced tomato sauce if I'm going to anger the Italians. Or I guess I'm declaring war on the Italians with that statement. But, just Amelia loses all entire Italian audience. But yeah.
Onions and beans with a serving of oyster crackers.
Do you have any more of those little oyster crackers left?
You ate them all.
Oklahoma.
This steak is medium rare. I asked for it medium.
In Oklahoma, steak takes the title of dinner's darling. You'll find steak served at all mealtimes. Varieties abound, including the beloved chicken fried steak, a hearty slab of beef steak breaded and pan-fried to perfection. Don't forget the gravy.
I remember that.
That's the wrong kind of gravy for the fried steak.
Oregon.
Black fruits are maybe like blackberries.
The Marion
The Marionberry, which we covered probably 10 minutes ago.
Pennsylvania.
Should we get lunch?
I would love a cheesesteak.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
A Pennsylvania legend, the Philly cheesesteak.
Yes. Rhode Island.
Century old and earned the title of the official state Rhode Island.
Once again, that's a drink. Why is it in a food video?
What kind of coffee is it?
A cherished Rhode Island tradition, coffee milk is nearly a century old and earned the title of the official state drink in 1993. This delightful concoction blends coffee and sugar syrup with frosty
Indeed.
milk,
Logic.
delivering a unique take on a milkshake.
Yummy.
South Carolina.
What is the soup du jour?
It's the soup of the day.
A rich soup similar to bisque, South Carolina's she crab.
Well, asking what the soup du jour is. You only say it's the soup of the day. Just tell them what it is.
Crab soup mixes cream, fresh crab meat, the distinctive red-orange roe from female crabs, earning it the she crab moniker, and a hint of sherry. It can be found on menus from Low Country to the Upstate.
It is the best.
South Dakota.
Bread makes you fat.
Bread makes you fat?
Lefse, a cherished Norwegian-American tradition, takes the form of thin potato bread, best savored with a slather of butter and a sprinkle of sugar for those with a sweet tooth. It's a homemade delight, typically crafted in South Dakota kitchens rather than restaurants.
This makes everything delicious.
Tennessee.
Brisket rub, Memphis rub.
Tennessee's Memphis-style ribs come in two delicious varieties.
It's barbecue, which we Texas barbecue we've covered. What's special about Utah?
Look what I found.
Oh, fry sauce. Yeah. Yeah. Mmm. Oh my. It's like, ugh. Okay, the sound effect I just made creeped me out. Probably you too, but yeah. God. Okay, so fry sauce.
In Utah, a unique twist on condiments elevates the fry experience. Fry sauce, a flavorful blend of ketchup, lemon juice, eggs, and a few secret elements, is reminiscent of Thousand Island dressing.
It's also reminiscent of burger sauce. It's also reminiscent of comeback sauce, which basically all share a lot of the basically mixing ketchup and mayo as the main elements of what makes them the sauce.
Vermont.
You guys want a 10%?
Maple syrup. It comes from the trees. They're in the trees, man.
Wait.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Peanut?
Virginia's culinary heritage.
They actually just didn't say Virginia or like, Smithfield ham. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
It shines through its peanut soup, inspired by African roots and embraced during colonial times. A wholesome blend of onion, celery, chicken stock, and peanut butter forms the core.
How many times have I asked you to put the lid back on the peanut butter jar?
Washington.
Maybe some salmon or something? Just gonna,
Salmon holds a special place in Washington State's culinary heart. From casual diners to upscale restaurants, the state offers an array of salmon dishes, ranging from humble to extravagant. Locals are discerning connoisseurs, favoring wild-caught varieties like sockeye and king salmon when in...
Because farmed salmon. And some farmed salmon is, oftentimes... this vibrant orange color that salmon has? Well, it gets that color because in the wild, they often eat a lot of shrimp. And the pigmentation in the shrimp enters their body. It's the same with flamingos, honestly. So, flamingos that don't eat shrimp are actually white, which is just a sort of neat little detail. But the reason I brought it up is, you see, farm-raised salmon are often not given shrimp. They're given these food pellets because it's significantly cheaper. The problem with this is that the food pellets makes it so that their flesh becomes gray. So instead of this lovely, iconic, vibrant orange color, it's instead, just imagine it being a very dull, sort of dirty gray color. Now, because, as you can imagine, that is horribly unappealing to look at, especially when you put it right beside wild-caught salmon. They add coloring to farm-raised salmon to make it so that it matches the color of the wild-caught salmon. And I'm pretty sure this isn't just an American thing. Yep, food coloring added to your fish. Because they don't want you to be weirded out by the gray color due to it eating pellets.
In season, farmed salmon often gets a pass.
Pass. Yeah.
West Virginia.
Ooh, pepperoni!
Born out of necessity in West Virginia's
Oh, pepperoni roll. Wisconsin. Oh, fried cheese curds. Wyoming. Is this
Wyoming.
Would you like some bread?
In Wyoming,
bread.
you can savor Native American heritage through fry bread, a dish now used for tacos. This hearty platter resembles a taco salad with house-made fry bread.
Well, no, because that, and also further what they showed is, they were talking about taco salads. We've also covered it. It's just sort of pliable fried bread. Now, stuff that shouldn't traumatize you. Like the iconic dessert, the best desserts in the 50 states.
From shave ice to Boston cream pie, here is each state's favorite dessert. Lane cake was made the official state dessert of Alabama in 2016. Its filling typically includes pecans, coconut flakes, raisins, and a generous amount of bourbon.
Bourbon.
Indigenous people would mix seal oil and...
You're not gonna want to hear that one. There's seal oil, and I stopped it there.
The sopapilla is a cross between Latin American fried pastry and Navajo fry bread. This fried pastry can be served savory or sweet. To serve it as a dessert, drizzle honey or sift powdered sugar on top. Possum pie can be found at diners and restaurants throughout Arkansas.
If you ordered possum pie in the UK, people would think you're literally making a pie with possum meat. But no, this is just...
Its layers consist of a crust, a cream cheese mixture, chocolate pudding, and whipped cream. Donut shops are a quintessential part of California. Whether you like them plain, over the top, or packed to the brim, you're guaranteed to find one you like here. Duffy rolls are extremely popular in Denver. They look like cinnamon rolls, but are lighter and have a flakier texture. The snickerdoodle is a classic cinnamon sugar cookie, but cream of tartar is the key ingredient to a true classic snickerdoodle. Peach pie is Delaware's state dessert. In the 19th century, Delaware was the country's leading producer of peaches. Even today, residents love making and eating the state dessert. Key lime pie is synonymous with Florida.
Oh yes, we've never heard of key lime pie before. Totally not.
Sweetened condensed milk and egg yolk. Restaurants and home bakers alike love making peach cobblers in Georgia. To make it extra special, add ice cream on top. Shave ice is an iconic dessert in Hawaii. A block of ice is shaved and then drizzled with rainbow syrups. You can add toppings such as adzuki bean paste or condensed milk.
Yeah, as I said, that was adzuki beans. I told you the other day that there's a sweet Asian bean that is often used in desserts. There's adzuki beans, and then there are regular red beans. They're sweet, and they're used in desserts oftentimes. Which one? This thing here. That's it. They're adzuki beans. Or did I miss something else? Or are you talking about when I accidentally, clicked here and then I went over this? This is a comic that I'm reading. It's called Underworld Restaurant. Which I guess going up there looks like it's like, oh my, is he looking at like some kind of... No, it's about a guy cooking food for the dead. Or for spirits. I did not mean to. I moved my mouse to the side and coincidentally it went over it. That's the reason why there was that Subnautica jump scare too. Because I was looking at the main screen and moved it to the second one and accidentally went over stuff on the second screen. So it would pull up things that are on here to the front. But yeah.
As adzuki bean paste or condensed milk. It may look like a potato, but it's actually ice cream. The ice cream potato can be found at Boise's West Side Drive-In. Vanilla ice cream is shaped like a potato and dusted in cocoa powder. Then it's topped with whipped cream, Oreos, and peanuts. Popcorn became the Illinois...
Any comment on the ice cream potato? Why would you hate it? It's not potato at all. It's just ice cream shaped to look like a potato. It's vanilla ice cream with like cocoa powder added to it. Cocoa powder. They just dust it in cocoa powder. Like if you look closely, you can see it's like just a powdered coating. Yeah, well that's the point. It's making something so that's supposed to be fun. I'm trying to think. There's a place that even made dessert nachos, which, one second. I don't know if it still exists. This was a long time ago. Let's see if I can find it. Well, I mean, there's a lot, but there was this one place where they went really far in making it look exactly like it was, like, they made it look like it was savory nachos, except it was actually, it was basically, instead of like corn chips, I think it was like this, some other kind of thing fried with cinnamon sugar on it, and they cut up strawberries to look like, you know, diced tomatoes. So they have everything that's on nachos traditionally, except they replaced it to make it sweet. I don't know, it's fun sometimes to do that. I don't think you'd like microgastrology. Well, you also wouldn't like to pay for that type of stuff. That stuff is hideously expensive. They have very small portions. And they like playing with their food.
And peanuts. Popcorn became the Illinois state snack food in 2004.
Yeah.
Garrett Popcorn serves its popcorn fresh to customers and can make anywhere from 30 to 150.
They are also known for the Garrett mix, which is a mixture of caramel popcorn and cheddar popcorn, which sounds weird, but it's actually pretty good. It's also very popular. It's one of those things that when you hear about it, you're like, what the fuck is that? Oh my god, it's gross. And then when you try it, you're like, it's not bad. I mean, it's not like outstanding. I'm not going to say, you'll change your life. You'll just be like, oh, this isn't bad. I don't mind eating it once in a while. It's not like the Old Bay caramel popcorn, which that one went a bit too far. It's like, okay, so you take caramel on popcorn and then you cover it in this extremely savory, like, seasoning powder that you usually add to fish. Old Bay popcorn, fine. But Old Bay caramel popcorn is, it's a step too far. It's kind of like, you know, when I say they mix the caramel and cheddar popcorn, they literally take cheddar popcorn and like caramel popcorn and mix them into the same bag. They're not like taking the caramel popcorn and applying cheddar seasoning to it. No, the flavors are very much separate. So that way when you feel like you want something sweet, you grab one of the cheddar. Not cheddar, you want to grab the caramel. And if you want something more savory, you grab the cheddar. It's not, I don't think it would taste quite as good if you dusted caramel popcorn in cheddar seasoning.
50 batches every day. Popular flavors include caramel crisp, cheese corn, and a mix of the two. The Indiana sugar cream pie is a regional specialty, characterized by its buttery crust and rich vanilla custard filling. The pie originated from the Amish and Shaker communities that settled in Indiana in the 1800s. Le Mars, Iowa is the ice cream capital of the world. Home to the Blue Bunny Ice Cream Parlor and Museum, you can find over 50 ice cream sculptures throughout the city. Frozen custard is a denser, creamier version of ice cream. It has pasteurized egg yolk, which gives it smoother texture. Sheridan specializes in frozen custard.
It also doesn't really melt, if I remember correctly, frozen custard.
Custards, and has 7 locations in Kansas and Missouri. Get it in a cone or a cup, and make sure to add toppings. Bourbon balls are a sweet and boozy delight. The bite-sized confection is made of Kentucky bourbon-soaked pecans, butter, and powdered sugar, and then dipped in chocolate. Yum. No Louisiana trip is complete without trying beignets at Café du Monde. Square-shaped pieces of dough are deep-fried and generously sprinkled with powdered sugar. The blueberry pie, made with wild Maine blueberries, became the state dessert in 2011. Maine is one of the world's top suppliers of wild blueberries. Not to be confused with cultivated blueberries. Wild blueberries are smaller and have a sweeter and tangier taste.
I have to go to work in less than an hour. I don't have time. My medication should be keeping me awake. I tried to sleep earlier. I was completely unable to. Yeah, well, I don't know. I tried sleeping. I really did, and then I just couldn't. And I tried to decide to produce content. Also, I don't have work tomorrow, so I can sleep in that. So, you know. Also, one thing I am, is I'm a mass freaking hypocrite. I can give a lot of really good advice to help people not screw up like I did, or like I still do. But, you know, I've made a lot of mistakes. But yeah, I'll try and... Oh, it's the Smith Island cake. The Maryland specialty that moused. What the hell? Most Marylanders don't know of. Because it's mostly seen on Smith Island, which is a very, very tiny island in the Chesapeake Bay. Yes.
The Smith Island cake is a layered cake, named after Smith Island in Chesapeake Bay. Traditionally, it consists of 8 to 10 layers of cake, with frosting between each layer. The Boston cream pie is a decadent cake, filled with custard or cream, and the chocolate glaze is a must. It's also the Massachusetts state dessert. Michigan is well known for its Mackinac Island fudge. Visitors can watch it being poured onto a marble slab and worked into solid fudge as it cools and hardens. While a muffin may be considered more of a breakfast food, you can certainly eat it for dessert, especially since Minnesota's state muffin is the blueberry muffin. The Mississippi mud pie is a rich, chocolatey dessert. The pie consists of a chocolate crust, 1 to 3 layers of chocolate, and a whipped cream topping. The gooey butter cake is a St. Louis original. It has a yellow cake bottom with a cream cheese, egg, and powdered sugar filling. Huckleberry pie is a...
God, it goes so quick. Thought they'd talk a little bit about it, like the gooey butter cake. Is it what makes it special? Is it just like what is it? Just a bunch of butter and flour, or is it? I don't know much about that pie or cake rather. Huckleberry pie.
Favorite dessert in Montana. Huckleberries are grown in the northwestern U.S., especially in the mountainous parts of Montana. They're sweet and tart, similar to blueberries, and perfect for a dessert pie. The kolache is a pastry roll popular in the Midwest and Texas.
Yeah.
Soft dough is filled with cream cheese or fruit. It originated in Eastern Europe and was brought to the US in the 1800s. You can find chocolate treats all over Nevada, at chocolate shops or all-you-can-eat buffets. Las Vegas also has one of the largest chocolate fountains in the world.
1 second, let me find it. Oh. Very good. It's a Death by Chocolate buffet. Because there's a buffet somewhere called the Death by Chocolate. I think it's a buffet where it's basically all you can eat chocolate. Oh, I thought there was one in America. Let's see. Oh, it's Death by Chocolate. It's a chocolate buffet. Okay, just skip for detail. But no. No. This isn't worth it. Well, whatever. God, it's so wait. No, I don't. Does the where's the main page? Oh, I guess it was a Calgary one, but I thought it was in America. So we do not offer Death by Chocolate, but we do have Sunday brunch buffets. Oh, it's I guess it's no longer continued. Oh no, but I did find out yesterday that a longtime family friend died. Which, you know, is really sad, but they were sick for a very long time. So, you know, also it's happened a lot. So, I'm starting to become a bit desensitized by certain people's deaths. I'm also starting to get desensitized by my mother forgetting to tell me that family friends or you know, family has died. And just me asking like, oh, what about this person? Like, oh, come on, Adam, you know what happened to them. They died. And it's like, what? Like, oh, you know, finding out that someone you really cared for, like, passed away. And their partner moved all the way to the opposite end of the country to be with their family. Does not feel great. And then also me having to tell my mother, like, you know, you didn't tell me what the hell's wrong with you. And then for her realizing, like, oh, I didn't tell Jean. And, you know, Jean was closer to them. And that is, yeah, it can be very frustrating. But yeah. But I don't want to talk about that. That's but like, look at this chocolate, the tallest chocolate fountain in the world.
At the Bellagio, at 27 feet tall, cider donuts are a New England favorite, especially in the fall.
We've covered apple cider donuts. We've also covered the candy.
Bizcochitos are New Mexico's state cookie. The anise-flavored shortbread cookie is often eaten at special celebrations, like weddings, baptisms, and holidays. This recipe was influenced by locals and immigrants from other Hispanic countries. New York-style cheesecake is characterized by its dense and rich texture, made possible by using lots of cream cheese and extra eggs and egg yolks. It's great by itself, but putting strawberries on top adds an extra sweet flavor. Sweet potato pie is a southern classic, But instead of empty calories, this pie is filled with mashed sweet potatoes, which are full of fiber and vitamin A. The krumkake is a Norwegian waffle cookie. While it's still hot, the cookie is rolled into a cone and can be filled with cream. It was brought to the Midwest by Scandinavian immigrants.
Is going too far.
Buckeyes are peanut butter balls dipped in chocolate.
We've heard
They're
about
meant to
your
resemble
salty chocolate balls. Let's move on. And yes, I would love them in my mouth, but still.
Fried pies are famous throughout Oklahoma. These handheld treats are perfect for on the go, and there are over a dozen flavors to choose from, including chocolate and cherry. The Marionberry pie is an
covered you Marionberry and your pie.
1900s. Amish people in Pennsylvania invented the whoopie pie.
Heard of the whoopie pie? There's a slang saying making whoopie, but that's something completely different. Well, you'll see here.
Marshmallow fluff or buttercream is sandwiched between two pieces of cake-like cookies.
Is it a cake or is it a cookie? It's, I guess, sort of treated like a cookie, but it's basically a cake.
The doughboy is similar to a zeppoli, but local to Rhode Island. It starts out as a flattened pizza dough.
Most people don't know what a zeppoli is.
And then it's deep fried and topped with powdered sugar. Coconut cake is a must-have in the South. It's made up of coconut cake, coconut frosting, and covered with toasted coconut flakes. The word Kuchen roughly translates to cake in German. The pastry has a dough crust and custard and fruit filling. German immigrants brought it to South Dakota in the 1880s. Banana pudding consists of layers of vanilla wafers, pudding, and bananas. The simple but delicious dessert is a Southern staple. There's even a National Banana Pudding Festival held in Centerville, Tennessee annually. Texans love their pecan pie, so much they made it the state pie. You can find the nutty treat at restaurants, dessert shops, and many family gatherings. Jell-O is Utah's state snack food. It's popular among the state's large Mormon population. To make it a sweeter treat, add whipped cream on top. Nothing warms the heart and stomach like apple pie. Sliced Vermont apples are placed inside a pie crust.
I mean, apple pie exists in other countries, but the way we make it is, well, we usually use a lot thicker slices of apples, and like as you see here. And then there's some parts of the country which do strange things with their apple pies. Like, hey, how would you like to add some cheese to your apple pie? To me, it sounds very strange. Look at, let's see. Apple cheddar pie. In case you didn't believe me, here it is, an apple pie with cheese. And that's a professional chef. It's Mario Batali. I don't see what Moon is saying on my end. So Moon might be invisible. The last thing I saw Moon send is the little tongue out emoji face. Oh, okay. Ah, yes, where there are less witnesses. Instead of two witnesses, there's only one. The victim. Yeah. Well, I can't see what she's saying, so I wouldn't know. Oh no. The bracelets, they're corrupting your mind.
The lattice top.
She's going to use you in her illegal bracelet making smuggling ring. Next 10 videos, fool makes bracelets. After doing work. I can't. The cost of a plane ticket's too much. Also, both of you are at an age where all you need to say is like, that guy's being a creep, and I will just be I will be annihilated by the law. I can't step in. It's like, oh, you know that guy there? He's over 30, and he's being weirdly, like he's trying. By the time the Greg makes it to America, it'll be not in the best state. I'm sorry. I would love to help you, but there's nothing I can say or do to stop Moon. You're both too powerful. Well, you also know where she lives. Yeah.
Top and baked to perfection.
Oh, you don't? Ah. I apologize then. Good luck out there. I'm sorry. I can't help.
Virginians love their chess pie. The simple pie is made up of flour, butter, sugar, and eggs, and on occasion an acid, such as vinegar, buttermilk, or lemon juice.
Let's ignore the abuse going on this side.
While the Nanaimo bar is
Hooray
Canadian by
for
birth,
society.
it was made popular in the US by Starbucks, whose headquarters are in Seattle. This no-bake dessert bar is decadent and delicious. While invented by the Pennsylvania Dutch, the shoe fly pie is very popular in West Virginia. The star of the decadent pie is molasses. There's even an annual
Shoe fly pie might also be another name that in the UK people would think it has like flies in it or something. But no, it's a molasses pie. I believe it's more like, yeah, as I said, the name for in the UK is very problematic sounding. But no, it's more like shoe. Like, you know, shoe, like go away, I think, rather than shoe fly. Like, you know, you're to shoe someone. I don't know. It was probably named that because it attracts flies. Because a lot of flies like eating sugar. Well, food attracts flies. And really, I don't know. I'm pulling stuff out my ass. But yeah.
Annual West Virginia Molasses Festival in Arnoldesburg. Original cream puffs are a popular dessert in the Wisconsin State Fair. The puff pastry is piled high with cream and extremely fun to eat. Cowboy cookies are packed with a bunch of flavors and textures. This cookie contains chocolate, pecans, coconut, oats, and cinnamon. While they aren't states, here are the favorite desserts in Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. Cupcakes reign supreme in Washington, D.C. Local favorites are Georgetown Cupcake and Baked and Wired. Flan is a popular custard dessert in Puerto Rico and other Spanish-speaking countries and territories. What foods do you think we should cover next? Let us know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe.
I wonder if they would cover Guam. It's technically a territory. My brain. This kind of content doesn't exactly excite me. Or, I don't know, feel like it's that interesting. But you know, it's always more interesting when I actually have energy and I'm not just like, I feel dead. God, it feels like a corpse would be more lively than I am being right now. Where is it? Alright, I guess I'll do this just to be stupid. Okay, let's go.
I'm a buff baby.
I need to lower the volume. Otherwise, copyright for the buff baby. I'm a buff baby that can dance like a man. I can shake on my fanny. I can shake on my can. A tough tootin' baby. I can punch all your buns. Punch out your buns. I can punch you for buns. If you're a needle witch, I will punch you for fun. Yes, indeed. Why did I do? What? Why? Scoring. I guess I'll play this because it's neat. It also tells you the story behind Everything Stays, and it also tells you about, like, you okay? Alright, well, this is an interview where, about with, it's an interview with Rebecca Sugar. Talking, yes, I can speak competently. No, I can't, and we all know that. Oh shit, I forgot, I lowered the volume for the music. Alright, take two.
I lost a toy in the garden. It was a stuffed rabbit.
I swear to God, my brain
partway
works.
Through, as I was drawing Spinel in the garden, I just went, oh no, like this is this toy. Like I'm definitely writing about this toy. I wrote a song about it for Adventure Time. The song Everything Stays was about this toy. Let's go in the garden. You'll find something waiting right there where you left it, lying upside down. I left this stuffed rabbit in the garden and I completely forgot about it, even though it had been my favorite toy. And I found it maybe half a year later. It had been upside down and the sun had faded the top of it, which was its underside, its belly. So when I picked it up, it was like a black rabbit, but it had this white belly. And it was like my first existential crisis of realizing that even though I had left this thing alone, it had changed without me. And when I had remembered that it was there, it was permanently damaged. Like it was never going to be exactly the same as I remembered. It wasn't worse either. It was fine. It was just different. It had just become different. There was nothing wrong with it having this light belly because of the sun. It was just a different thing now. And I thought about that a lot. So the song Everything Stays was about that.
Let's go in the garden. You'll find something waiting right there where you left it, lying upside down. When you finally find it, you'll see how it's faded. The underside is lighter when you turn it around. Everything stays right where you left it.
I think a part of that is in Spinel, and maybe my guilt that I had been so careless with something that I thought I loved so much.
Nightly, in little ways, when everything stays.
Well, did you think that was interesting? That was I mean, I found it interesting when I heard about that. There's also like a thing called like Spinell would not like the name, would not like that song. Everything Stays. Ah. Oh look, it's the Dutch baby that I like to eat so much. Indeed. And it's the Abomination. You know, Moon, this baby is ultra tender and has a really nice taste. I would like to have stream a bit more, but at the same time, with my current level of energy, I don't think I produce much content that's worth actually watching. I think it would be more of the and you know, just stuff like me being like, you know, half dead. So I guess I'll try to rest and finish getting ready for work. I'll try streaming a bit earlier today after work so that, you know, we could do the Demon Slayer. And that way, you know, we can, well, it won't just be as short, but you know, it's always the case. Every day I say, I'm going to stream earlier than I did yesterday, and then I get distracted for a few hours. But I will make an attempt to stream earlier. Well, thanks you both, Moon and Person, for coming by. I really appreciate it. I will see you later. All right. Bye. Yeah. Bye-bye.